Hello, this is Jeff McNeil, and this is my review of NieR Automata. Taking on the role of your hard combat android 2B, you're tasked with the destruction of an invading alien force and their seemingly endless army of machine life forms. Ultimately, it's a really simple plot. There are bad guys that need killing, and you're the good guy sent to kill them. Simple and clean, almost poetically so. At least on your first playthrough. Much like the original NieR, the game emphasizes multiple playthroughs, with each subsequent run offering additional details and new insight into the world and characters you interact with. While the game might lean a little too heavy on the pity the bad guy button, it's overall a compelling, if sometimes confusing story. The story is helped along immensely thanks to the incredible presentation. Each environment, especially the outdoor areas like the city ruins where we are right now, are distinct and beautiful, except the factory where the demo takes place. It just doesn't do the game any justice. There is some pop-in, but performance is overall stable. You can see it here, it kind of goes from nothing and then things are just kind of popping in. It's not too distracting. The music and sound design are spot on as well. I'm particularly fond of the simple piano piece played here. Attacking enemies, let's see if I can find one here. Here we go. Attacking enemies. Yeah, that's a good sound. Attacking enemies gives a really satisfying metal crunching sound. Explosions have just the right amount of punch. Nothing really comes across as grating or unpleasant to the ears. Everything's very metallic, very heavy sounding. Sounds good. And pickups, you get that nice jingle. Voice work is solid all around, and the script is decent enough that it's never unintentionally cringy or hilarious. And we've all seen games like that. Gameplay is a solid mix of Platinum's trademark spectacle fighter mixed with a liberal dose of RPG and bullet hell. At certain points in the story, which I'm not going to show since a lot of them are tied to story plot, the game will switch to a vertical or dual stick shooter. Wow, that's a mouthful. These moments are interesting but not particularly difficult and ultimately feel limiting compared to ground combat. Ground combat, you've got dodges, you've got multiple types of combos, you've got all types of crazy stuff, bullets and flashes and lasers, and the vertical shooter sections just don't have it. And you can do that. You know, if you want to, you can do it. If you want to, you can just whee. You know. Yeah, you could just attack in the air, or you can just, you know, whee. I'm sorry. I find that way funnier than it has to be. Ground combat can get a little clustered in places. Sometimes you've got over a dozen enemies moving and attacking all at once, and it can be extremely hard to tell what's going on. It's a very visually busy game in combat. You've got all types of flashing, multiple colors, attacks, sparks, explosions, and when you get too much on the screen, it can be really hard to tell what's going on. I mean, in those cases, I just end up spamming dodge until I can get myself out of the way, turn around, and face the enemies one at a time. The game itself also isn't particularly difficult, at least as long as you keep your weapons and chips up to date. I ended up beating the game's final boss in just a few seconds without even trying or grinding. It was just kind of over. But it is fairly easy to adjust the game's difficulty either through chips you have, such as removing your HP or changing the difficulty, There are lots of ways you can adjust the game to be as easy or as hard as you want. Overall, I think NieR Automata is a solid action RPG. The combat doesn't quite reach the peak seen in Bayonetta, and the story is a little iffy in places, but the strong design, incredible presentation, seriously, I love the way this game looks. And solid gameplay make it a great joy to play, though it's certainly not for everyone. The way the story's told,
according to our intel,
it's
none
one
of
of
the
those
machines in this area
love
are
it
hostile.
or
We've been seeing
hate it
more and more enemies like this
situations.
lately. They just stand
Some
there
people
and
just
stare into
want to play a
space.
game once
It's
and
pretty
get
weird.
everything out of it. You can't do that in NieR. Overall, it's a good game. And if you're interested in Platinum's work, in their style of action gameplay with a heavy emphasis on exploration and subquests and stuff, check it out. You really can't be disappointed with it if that's what you want in your game. So, this has been Jeff McNeil. I will see you next time.